Hey friend, welcome back to Skill Up Wednesdays on Training Academy. I'm so glad you're here today. Let me ask you this. Have you ever started talking, and halfway through your sentence you thought, where am I going with this? You hear yourself rambling, you repeat the same idea, you add too many details, and when you finally finish, you're not even sure you sounded confident. Maybe it happens in meetings. Maybe it happens when your boss asks for an update. Maybe it happens when someone asks your opinion and you feel that pressure to be impressive. Today's episode is going to help you with exactly that. Our topic is, say this to instantly sound more confident, no more rambling. We're really talking about how to speak clearly and confidently with practical scripts you can actually use in real life. You don't have to be a naturally great speaker to sound confident. You just need a few simple phrases and a structure that keeps your words clear, calm, and to the point. In a moment, I'm going to pass it to Mark. He's going to break down a simple framework you can use in almost any conversation, plus word-for-word examples you can practice today. I'll be back at the end to wrap up, challenge you, and help you take your next step. For now, let's join Mark as he shows you what to say to sound more confident without rambling.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark and I'm excited to walk through this with you. Let's start by clearing up one big myth. Confidence is not about having the perfect words. It's not about having a loud voice or a big personality. Most of the time, when people say, wow, she sounds confident, what they really mean is she knows what her main point is. She says it clearly. She doesn't ramble all over the place. The problem is, many of us start talking before we're clear in our own heads. So our words wander. We keep adding one more thing, and the listener has to work really hard to follow us. Here's the good news. You can fix this with a few simple habits and phrases. In this video, I'm going to give you a simple structure you can use for almost any answer or update. A few short phrases you can say to sound clear and confident right away. Practical scripts you can adapt for meetings, work updates, and everyday conversations. By the end, you'll know exactly how to speak so people think they know what they're talking about, even if you still feel a little nervous inside. Let's start with the most important part, your first sentence. Step 1. Start with a clear headline sentence. The first step to sounding more confident is this. Start with a clear headline sentence. Think of your first sentence like the title of a YouTube video. It tells the listener what this is about and where you're going. Most rambling happens because we start in the middle of our thoughts. We say, I think there are just a lot of things going on, and we never clearly say what our main point is. Instead, train yourself to begin with a sentence that sounds like a headline. Here are a few examples you can use. My main point is this. We should keep the current plan but adjust the timeline. The short answer is yes, but there are two conditions. In my view, this is a good opportunity, and here's why. The most important thing to know is that the project is on track. Do you hear how each of those sentences gives direction? As soon as you say a strong first sentence, three things happen. Your brain has a clear target. The listener knows what to expect. You instantly sound more confident and prepared. You can even buy yourself a few seconds of thinking time by using a simple starter like, let me give you the short version first. Here's how I see it. If I had to summarize it in one sentence, I'd say that, pause for a second, breathe, and then give your headline sentence. Now that you've got your clear starting point, let's structure the rest so you don't ramble. Step 2. Use the three-sentence structure. Once you start with a clear headline sentence, the next step is to avoid piling on unnecessary details. A simple way to do that is to use what I call the three-sentence structure. Headline sentence, your main point. Because sentence, the key reason, example sentence, one quick example here, or detail. That's it. After those three sentences, you can pause and let the other person ask for more if they want it. Let me show you how this works. Imagine your manager asks, what do you think about the new software we're testing? You could say, my main point is that the new software is helpful, but it needs more training for the team. That's because several people are still confused about basic features, and it's slowing them down. For example, yesterday we lost time in the morning because we didn't know how to pull the right report. Three sentences, clear, focused, and confident. Here's another one. Someone asks, how's the project going? Overall, the project is on track, but we're tight on time. That's because one task took longer than expected and pushed the schedule. For example, the data cleanup step needed 2 extra days. You can use this structure for opinions, updates, and even difficult conversations. If you tend to ramble, this 3-sentence structure is your new best friend. Say your headline. Say why. Give one brief example. Then stop and let the other person respond. Next, let's add a few signpost phrases that guide your listener and make you sound even more polished. Step 3. Use signpost phrases to stay organized. Another reason people sound like they're rambling is because the listener can't tell where they are in the explanation. You might have good ideas, but if you don't mark the path, people get lost. That's where signpost phrases come in. These are short phrases that tell your listener what you're doing with your words. Here are a few powerful ones you can start using. There are 3 things I want to mention. First, second, third. Let me give you a quick overview, then an example. Here's the main issue, and then I'll share what I suggest. To summarize, here's where we are. For example, in a meeting, instead of jumping into a long explanation, you might say, there are 3 quick points I want to share about this. First is the timeline, second is the budget, and third is the risk. You haven't even explained anything yet, but you already sound confident and organized. Then you walk through each point. First, about the timeline. Second, about the budget. Third, the main risk is signpost phrases keep you from wandering, and they help your listener relax because they can follow your structure. You can also use signposts to gently end your answer. Let me wrap up with this. To summarize in one sentence, these phrases are like turning on the lights in a dark room. Suddenly, your message is easier to see. Next, let's talk about how to end your answer in a way that sounds confident instead of trailing off. Step 4. End with confidence, not with apology. Have you ever noticed how some people end their sentences with a question mark in their voice, even when they're not asking a question? They say things like, "So, yeah. I don't know, that's just my opinion, I guess." That kind of ending makes your message sound uncertain, even if your content was good. To sound more confident, you don't need to be aggressive. You just need to land the plane. Here are some phrases you can use to end with confidence. So that's my recommendation. That's where things stand right now. That's the main point I wanted to share. In short, that's why I think this is the best option. Notice, these endings are calm, not arrogant. They simply close your thought. You can also end by inviting a response in a confident way. I'm open to your thoughts. How does that sound to you? What questions do you have about that? This shows you're not defensive, but you're also not shrinking back. You've shared your view clearly, and now you're ready to listen. So far, we've learned how to start, how to structure, how to guide, and how to end. Now, let's move into the fun part. Practical scripts you can plug into real situations. Apply it. Practical scripts for real situations. Let's put all of this into real life. I'm going to give you some ready-to-use scripts you can adjust to your own words. You don't have to memorize them perfectly. Just practice the pattern. First situation. Giving a quick update in a meeting. You can say, "Let me give you the short version first. Overall, the project is on schedule, but the testing phase is tight. That's because we had a delay with one of the vendors last week. For example, we didn't get the files until Wednesday instead of Monday. So that's where things stand right now." You've used a headline, a because, an example, and a confident ending. Second situation. Sharing your opinion on a decision. You can say, "In my view, this option is the best fit for us. That's mainly because it keeps costs down while still improving the service." For example, we can start small, see how customers respond, and then expand if it works well. So that's why I lean toward this choice, and I'm open to your thoughts. Third situation. Answering a tough question when you need a moment to think. You can say, "That's a great question. Let me give you the short answer first." The short answer is that we're headed in the right direction, but we have to watch the workload. The reason I say that is because the team is managing well now, but we're close to capacity. For example, last week we had to pull in extra help to cover the rush. So overall, I think we're okay, but we need to plan carefully. Fourth situation. Setting a boundary or saying no more confidently. You can say, "My main point is that I can't take on this extra task right now without delaying my current deadlines. That's because I'm already committed to finishing the training materials and the report this week." For example, yesterday I spent the whole afternoon catching up on those projects. So I won't be able to own this new task, but I'm happy to help you think through who else might support it. Notice how that sounds clear, respectful, and confident, not rude or apologetic. Fifth situation, sharing an idea so you don't talk in circles. You can say, I have one idea that might help here. The idea is to start with a small pilot instead of changing everything at once. That's because a pilot lets us test the idea without a big risk. For example, we could try it with one location or one group for 30 days. So that's my suggestion. These scripts give you structure. Over time, you'll make them sound more and more like your natural voice. Now, let's talk about how to practice this so it becomes automatic instead of stressful. Practice how to train your speaking muscles. Speaking clearly and confidently is like building a muscle. You don't get strong by reading about push-ups. You get strong by doing push-ups. Here are a few simple ways to practice. First, practice out loud when no one is around. Pick a topic from your day, a project, a decision, or even what you cooked for dinner. Then use this pattern. Headline, because example, ending. For example, today was productive but a little rushed. That's because I had back-to-back meetings and a long drive. For example, I spent almost 2 hours on the road. So I got a lot done, but I'm ready to rest. You're training your brain to think in clear structures. Second, rehearse before important conversations. If you know you have a meeting, don't just worry about it. Prepare a few first sentences. Write them or say them out loud. My main point is, the short answer is, there are 3 things I want to highlight. Third, record yourself and listen back. Use your phone. Record a 30-second answer to a question like, how's your project going? Listen for rambling, filler words, and unclear points. Then try again using the 3-sentence structure and signpost phrases. You'll be amazed at how fast you improve when you watch yourself like a coach, not a critic. Now, let's end with a simple challenge to put this into action this week. Challenge. Your 3-day confidence speaking challenge. Here's your skill up challenge. For the next 3 days, I want you to intentionally practice speaking more clearly and confidently using what you've just learned. Day 1. Focus on your headline sentence. In at least one conversation, start with a clear, strong first sentence. Use phrases like, the main point is, the short answer is, here's how I see it. Day 2. Use the 3-sentence structure at least once. Headline, because example, ending. Notice how it feels to stop after 3 sentences instead of explaining for 2 minutes straight. Day 3. Use at least one signpost phrase in a meeting or conversation. There are 2 things I want to mention. First, second, to summarize. If you do this for just 3 days, you'll start to feel the difference. People will listen more closely. You'll feel more in control of your words. And slowly, your speaking identity will shift from I ramble to I speak clearly and confidently. In a moment, I'll pass it back to our host to wrap us up and help you take the next step.
Thank you, Mark. That was so practical and so powerful. Friend, you don't have to keep cringing at your own words or replaying conversations in your head thinking, why did I say all of that? With a few simple phrases and a clear structure, you can sound calm, clear, and confident, even if you still feel a little nervous on the inside. Now it's your turn. In the comments, tell us this. What is one phrase or script from today's video that you're going to try this week? Is it, the main point is? Is it, the short answer is? Is it using 3 sentences instead of 10? Write it down in the comments. That's your way of committing and getting started. If this episode on Say This to Instantly Sound More Confident, No More Rambling helped you, would you please? Subscribe to the Training Academy YouTube channel. Like this video and share it with a friend or coworker who wants to speak more clearly and confidently. Your support helps us keep creating content that inspires, equips, and empowers you to grow in your skills, your confidence, and your calling. And if you also struggle with speaking up at work or feeling overlooked, make sure to watch our Skill Up Wednesday video titled Why High Performers Don't Get Promoted and What You Can Do About It. It pairs perfectly with what you learned today. Thank you for watching Skill Up Wednesdays on Training Academy. Until next time, keep growing, keep learning, and keep speaking with confidence.